Our first stop in the Americas this week, of course, the coasts of Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi and Florida. Emergency crews are still rushing to protect the fragile shorelines and its islands. The oil slick in the Gulf of Mexico is expanding. Cue a mobilization of National Guard troops all the way to the Florida Keys. Worrying times for the fishermen whose livelihoods are at stake. This report from our correspondents Emmanuel Saint-Martin and Nathan King.
They come in large numbers, recruited by BP to join in the cleanup. The language may be Vietnamese or Cambodian. These fishermen don't speak English, but that hasn't stopped them from obtaining 80% of the commercial fishing licenses in this state. In his office, Tuan Nguyen helps fill out the necessary paperwork. For 20 years, he has built a thriving wholesale business, but not without struggles.
Katrina, I lost everything brand new right here during Katrina. But I said to myself, when I come back, rebuild it, I know where I got shrimp and fish to buy. I can still have both working. But now I don't know what will happen. I don't know what the impact will be, how long it's going to take. This
is the beginning of shrimping season. At this time of the year, this production line should be humming. But with the fishing fields closed, everything is idled.
I don't know how long it's going to take, but I don't know how long I can. Now I started using my saving already to take care of the bill, take care of the people that are working for me. They still have a family to take care, so I still have to keep them on my payroll.
Tuan has 50 boats at his disposal. Kay, however, is not so lucky. He lives and works on his boat. He and his wife, the only crew. They lost everything in Katrina, and this time BP offers a faint hope of a job.
I don't know what I can do besides the shrimp. so that's why they allow all the people to go clean up the oil, maybe make a few dollars for living for the next day or next month or a couple more months or 3 more months or something like that. You know?
This oil spill has devastated the whole community here, but for the Vietnamese and Cambodians, 30 years after exile, this perhaps is a reminder of the fragility of life.
Let's now go to St. Paul, Minnesota, the home of lawyer Jeff Anderson, a man who wants to get the Pope himself to testify in court. His mission to hunt and sue pedophile priests. With more and more revelations coming our way from the Vatican, he might have his work cut out. This is a report from our correspondents Guillaume Meyer and Natalie Handel.
Okay, let's go in and give me an overview here.
It's a big day at the Anderson law firm.
I'm looking at the stuff right now.
Jeff and his colleagues are poring over newly released documents from the 80s. Among them, a letter signed by the future Pope. Then Cardinal Ratzinger ordered that an alleged pedophile priest be moved to another diocese, but not defrocked. Jeff Anderson says the Pope needs to explain his decision in court.
What Cardinal Ratzinger, now Pope Benedict, was concerned about in 1985, as he wrote this letter, is that we're more concerned about our reputation than we are about those kids. So we are making the decision to keep this priest in ministry to avoid scandal.
Jeff Anderson has been on a crusade against the Vatican for more than 20 years. He's represented dozens of abuse victims.
Most of us were altar boys.
Bob is one of them. He says he was abused by a priest at 7 years old. For years he remained silent until he met his lawyer, who became his friend and confidant.
It is the courage of people like Bob and Bob that inspires me, from whom I draw strength. Look, when I get...
In his office, Jeff Anderson always keeps the directory of all the Catholic priests in the U.S. handy. And when cases of abuse are reported to him, he pursues them relentlessly.
I'll call the perpetrator and say that I'm on to him, and I'm expecting him to halt his ministry, and I'm reporting him to the police, to his bishop, and to anybody else, because I'm going to expose him in the community so he doesn't hurt other kids, and I want him to know that I'm onto him. That's what I do.
Tim is a new client. After decades of silence, he has become outraged by the Vatican's latest denials.
Definitely.
That's why he's suing his diocese with Anderson's help.
The church needs to do some soul searching and ask the tough questions of themselves. They need to be held accountable, and part of that may be financial, but that is not the motive.
Money may not be this victim's main motivation, but defending people like Tim may have brought around $60 million to the Anderson law firm. For Jeff Anderson, the fight of his life has also been a real boon.